Dodd sneaks it through. Let's go down to Bill Walton. Bill?
All right, Chris, a little controversy on the call right now, but not nearly as severe as the injury to Mike Whitmarsh. Mike, early in the week, was complaining of a sore foot privately. It's been getting much, much worse, and now he's very seriously concerned that it's a major stress fracture. It's radiating up through his foot. It has affected his concentration. It's affected his preparation. And with the length of this match, that could be a very severe factor hindering Whitmarsh's commitment and ability to play, but he's going to play right through it today. Chris Marlowe.
Well, right now, Mike Whitmarsh seeing red. They didn't count the touch off the block of Karch Steffes, so Karch Steffes got a point, and Whitmarsh is seething. The ball apparently touched one of the American players, and obviously Whitmarsh is not 100%.
Well, really thought that they got a horrible call for point number 3. Dodd hits the ball, and it's a tight set. This is the play afterwards. You can see Mike Whitmarsh having some trouble. He's had a difficult year. Had a strained hamstring early in the summer, had walking pneumonia. Don't forget, Dodd and Whitmarsh have only won one tournament all season long. That was in San Francisco when they defeated Karch and Kent Steffes in the finals. And add to that the foot problems, not what you need, of course, when you're playing the world's very best. But really angry about, in my opinion, an obvious missed call to get Karch and Steffes off to the 3-0 start. And they just had no concentration on the next play. Whitmarsh just flailed it out of bounds.
Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh are the oldest team in the tournament, a combined 72 years. And an interesting little tidbit, if Mike Dodd wins today, he will become the oldest beach volleyball player ever to win a competition. That record held right now by the Babe Ruth of beach volleyball, Ronnie Von Hagen, now living in Colorado. He was 38 years, 9 months when he won in 1977, his final tournament at Rosecrans in Manhattan Beach, California. So Dodd could break that record today with a win.
Talked to Karch earlier today, and he said one of the things that Kent and I have talked about is getting on top of Dodd and Whitmarsh early. We've been watching them in the tournament. They've been getting off to some slower starts, particularly yesterday in the semifinal. We're going to try to jump out early.
Whitmarsh is blocking, but he's not stuffing. It's 4-0 Karch Steffes as Karch gently goes over the top. Karch is 35 years old now.
Watch Mike Whitmarsh. There you see the biggest block on the beach, but you see him land on only one foot. He's landing very gingerly. Of course, the injury that Bill Walton talked about. It's been a busy week for all of these players. Long matches every day.
Here's Whitmarsh, and Whitmarsh flails it out of bounds. So Karch and Steffes come out very, very quickly and are jumping on Dodd and Whitmarsh, leading 5-0.
They're going to keep serving him. Even if they have to take a little heat off the jump serve, going to work Mike Whitmarsh as best they can. Steffes right back at him down the line.
Whitmarsh, Steffes with a dig, Karch chasing. Could be a point. No, Whitmarsh with a dig. Kent Steffes for a point. And he hit it out. Will Dodd, check that, will Whitmarsh loosen up as the match goes along?
Well, I'm not sure he's too tight right now. The pressure was really yesterday getting into the gold medal match. I just think physically he's not 100%. Mike
Dodd serving, trailing 5-0. Remember, best 2 of 3. Whitmarsh. And Steffes puts it away.
I'll tell you, Kent Steffes is doing something that Karch was really known for. That's hitter coverage. Karch used to make plays covering his partner, whether indoors or a hitter obviously out on the beach, which would normally be Kent Steffes, but Steffes is really reacting well, not allowing balls that are soft blocked a little bit to get to the sand.
Steffes positioning himself at the net.
Just shaking some water off the net.
Rain continues to come down here at Atlanta Beach. It's cool and overcast, as you might imagine. Normally very good weather for Mike Whitmarsh, #1 of Dodd and Whitmarsh. You can see it coming down very, very hard.
I would rather play in this than 130 degrees on center court, and I know Mike Whitmarsh, Mike Dodd, and the other Americans, Karch and Steffes, would as well. I don't think the rain will be that big a factor. As a matter of fact, Karch, and Kent Steffes practiced in it for a couple of hours this week, waited until it was just pummeling down, and then went out and practiced because they know that they were bound to play in it. Obviously, we're hoping it would not be during the gold medal match.
Kent Steffes will serve. 5-0 Karch Steffes. Dodd. Karch with the dig. And Karch lays it on the line.
Going deep middle, that's the place when you're in trouble. Very interested group in the stands, Chris.
And there is Laz Karch. He had vowed not to come to the Olympic Games because he was unhappy with the Olympic qualification procedure. Laz, a big supporter of the AVP volleyball. Karch called him up last night and persuaded him to come. He said, "Dad, come out, watch me go for the gold," and Laz relented. An outspoken critic, but I think it's good that he's here for Karch.
He's where he belongs. He made his statement, he took his stance, made his point, was well publicized and well documented how Laz Karch felt about the selection process. But as we discussed earlier, he is where he belongs, ready to support his son.
You saw him in 1988 wearing the, waving the flag. He has the flag right there. He has not unfurled it since Seoul. He said, "It's been in a corner of my bedroom, but I've got it with me and I have it ready."
Karch asked him not to bring it. Karch doesn't know it's here. Laz has been hiding it down below. He said when he talked to Karch yesterday, Karch said, "Don't bring the flag. We're both Americans in the final." He doesn't know it's here.
Karch and Steffes leading here in game one, 6-0. But keep in mind, it's 2 out of 3, so that's an advantage for Dodd and Whitmarsh.
Well, think about a tennis analogy. Let's say you get blown out in the first set, 6 games to love. You just go back, regroup, and start all over in game 2. But Mike Whitmarsh doesn't look right to me physically.
Kent Steffes whacked it out of bounds here at Atlanta Beach. Karch and Steffes leading 6-0.
This summer, the Olympic spirit will move people everywhere to dream of a world without boundaries. At AT&T, we believe communication can help make that happen. Because when people communicate, there's no limit to what they can do.
Cool, rainy, breezy at Atlanta Beach. Karch Karch, Kent Steffes, Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, the All-American final here at Atlanta Beach. Steffes has hit his second ball out of bounds, and Dodd and Whitmarsh get their first point. Mike Dodd serving. Games are to 12.
Tight set.
Dodd is there. Whitmarsh. And out of bounds, says the second referee, Mirella Carreño. Whitmarsh showing very good mobility on that play.
See, the net creates its own extending imaginary line outside the pole. The ball, once it passes any portion of it outside the pole, it's considered out of play. You can see Karch waving his arms. Great effort by Mike Whitmarsh. Just cannot make the play. Okay, when the ball is set tight, you got to poke the ball way up and over Mike Whitmarsh, and that's the kind of play that Dodd is looking for in the back line. Give him a little more time to run around and play defense.
We talk about this being Mike Whitmarsh weather. He had substantial problems with heat exhaustion and cramping back in the early 90s. A problem which he shouldn't have today as he stuffs one down. Make it 6-2.
Hopefully for Mike Whitmarsh, that damaged foot is loosening up, feeling better as the game goes on. He's jumping a little more loose and free and was way up on the block that time.
Elaborating on the heat exhaustion problems of Mike Whitmarsh in the white hat. In numerous tournaments on the AVP American circuit, he had to be taken to the hospital after the matches, and his fellow players were jokingly starting to call the ambulance the Whitmobile. There goes Mike in the Whitmobile, but that's something he has corrected with the help of a Los Angeles doctor who told him to take salt tabs and watch your diet, et cetera, et cetera.
And he is really appreciative of Mike Dodd for sticking with him through those times. There were several tournaments where Whitmarsh fell out, just could not finish. He solved those problems, doesn't really exist even anymore. But Mike Dodd early in their partnership could have easily gone to someone else. But he stuck with Mike Whitmarsh. He saw the potential of the athleticism, the personality of a Whitmarsh becoming a great volleyball player, and they have become one of the great teams on the beach right now.
Dodd and Whitmarsh in red trying to get it going. They trailed 6-0. They've scored 2 in a row. And now Mike Whitmarsh in the white hat will serve. He does all the blocking for Team USA.
That's it.
Karch, Whitmarsh, and Dodd was covering.
Whitmarsh has the choice there when he's thinking about maybe fake blocking, but on the bad set off Kent Steffes, he's retreating and chose to retreat to the cross-court side. This is what Whitmarsh will do throughout the course of this match. Sprint up, block, he's there, he's going. He'll go in the direction he thinks the ball's going to be hit. Unfortunately, Dodd, one of the best readers defensively with his anticipation, was covering exactly the same 5 feet square of court.
6-2, Karch and Steffes lead it. Whitmarsh, and Whitmarsh pummels one through.
That was good heat from Whitmarsh. Steffes was right there, had both hands on the ball, should have been able to pop it up, but like we saw the Brazilian men last night, just too much heat for the United States, getting that one through Steffes.
Mike Dodd utilizing the floater. Dodd and Whitmarsh do not serve jumpers on the regular basis. Good play by Whitmarsh, and he puts it away.
That's Dodd and Whitmarsh right there. Whitmarsh either intimidating, stuffing, or soft blocking a lot of shots, and then Dodd chasing the ball down. And Whitmarsh has become such a better volleyball player in the last 3 years. Knows all the trouble shots, knows where the court is. Transition opportunity for Dodd.
Mike Dodd bounces it out of bounds. And Karch Steffes will have it. So Karch, who's been wearing that pink hat since 1992. Earlier in his career, he wore black, he wore lime green and optic yellow. But he likes pink. He won the first 5 tournaments of that year and kept it on. Ended up winning 13 in a row, tying a beach volleyball record. And Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh starting to get into this match. They trailed 6-0, now trail 6-3.
The pink hat, one of the most treasured pieces of beach volleyball memorabilia. It seems like there are hundreds of them in the stands right now with Karch's signature on most of them.
Dodd and Whitmarsh continue to serve. Karch. The strategy about serving Karch, they want him to hit, don't they?
They want to make Karch hit. When I spoke with him this morning in terms of his plan against Mike Whitmarsh, he said, look, I was so excited at the Olympic trials. I probably hit the ball too much, and he did, because Whitmarsh blocked him an awful lot, had 7 stuff blocks in that short match to 15. He's going to shoot the ball probably 2/3 of the time now against Whitmarsh.
Whitmarsh getting most of the serves, and 38-year-old Mike Dodd thinking to himself, thank goodness they're not serving me every time, so I can utilize my talents on defense.
Karch and Steffes will serve Whitmarsh. Try to take a couple of inches off that 6'7" frame, an awfully good jump by serving him, wearing him out at the offensive end. And you got to go 2 ways. Think about old-time football. These guys going 2 ways, playing offense and defense. Serve Whitmarsh, take him a lot of inches out of his jump, and then make him less effective when he's blocking at the net.
Karch serving with a 6-3 lead. Dodd, pretty good block by Steffes.
That's trouble.
And Steffes jams it down. Initial joust won by Kent Steffes. It's 7-3.
Introducing the car you'll never get over. The new 1997 Wide Track Grand Prix from Pontiac. Call toll-free 1-888-97-WIDER for your free video information package. See how wider is better.
You know dedication is keeping a promise to yourself. What do you wear? Champion. Outfit of the U.S. Olympic team.
Final. 2 American teams. Karch, Kent Steffes, Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh. Dodd and Whitmarsh are in red. Karch with the pink hat, looping, and Dodd has it up. Steffes off the net. the put away. There are the pink hats.
And there's Adrian Crook waving the hat right there as Karch Kirai's movement coach. They do a lot of plyometrics together, and as Karch has gotten older, he just keeps trying to find ways to stay on top. And Adrian Crook has worked with Karch on his efficiency on the court, covering from one sideline to the other in the fastest possible manner. And you saw that a lot from both teams in that exchange.
Karch and Steffes are ahead. Karch and Steffes, the #1 team in the 90s. They've been playing together for about 5 years now, and they have completely dominated the AVP or American Tour.
You go back 1992, 16 wins on the year, 13 in a row. In 93, they won 18 of 24. Moved to 94, 17 of 21. You're kind of getting the picture how good this team is. And Karch missed a couple of tournaments that year because of a damaged kidney when he was playing defense in 95. They played only 11 tournaments together, winning 5. Kent Steffes injured his shoulder very early in the season, had to have arthroscopic and reconstructive surgery, and Kent Steffes not sure that he was going to get Karch back as his partner in 1996 because Scott Akatubby teamed with Karch Kiraly to win 8 out of 12, but Karch just said, look, as good as Kent and I have been over the years, we've got unfinished business, particularly with the Olympics coming.
So far, it's been all Karch Steffes, 8-3. Dodd and Whitmarsh trying to hang in as Mike Dodd goes over the top. Dodd, a 3-time former world champion in the 80s. Growing up, the Olympics never entered his mind. He wanted to be a professional basketball player. In fact, both Mikes, former basketball stars. Karch and gently down the line.
Mike's first interest, of course, was basketball as a professional athlete, but he was a national team partner or teammate of mine for a while, and he was very good. If he would have stuck with it, he would have been on the Olympic team in 1984. Was in love with the beach. That's where he grew up and made a very difficult decision to go back out there, giving up his Olympic dreams, but somehow it seemed to work out pretty well.
Off Karch, Steffes got there, and Karch puts it away. Karch, Karch, and Kent Steffes. They've been wearing black uniforms all week. They're lucky uniforms, and they have come out revved up.
Adrian Crook, the movement coach, and right now Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes cooking defensively. They're winning the long rallies if you count them up. Steffes scrambles, pretty good looking play here by Karch Kiraly. Little jump fakey pokey, and again deep middle. That's the area where all these players will try to attack when they're in trouble in transition, but you got to hit the ball in the back 18 inches of the court to make it effective.
Mike Whitmarsh, a star basketball player at the University of San Diego. Matter of fact, Dream Teamer John Stockton beat him out for the Conference Player of the Year. Does he ever think about returning to the NBA? This is what he said.
Nay, my basketball career is over. Seems like another lifetime. I can hardly even remember. I think they're going to try to dig up some footage from Minnesota, but good luck trying to find it.
He was a 5th-round draft choice of the Portland Trail Blazers, and he was eventually cut in favor of Jerome Kersey. As you're looking at footage of him against the Lakers, that was actually the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was the last man cut there in 1989. So Whitmarsh, tremendous athletic ability, but obviously playing a little bit hurt today.
Challenging our crew to find the video, and we got it from the NBA archives. Mike Dodd is having some setting troubles. This is the 3rd set, 2 of which have led directly to points, but that are way too close to the net. You got to set the ball about 12 inches, I should say. 12 feet would be quite a challenge. 12 inches off the net. Good side-out play by the United States. Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes. Look at the setting proximity. You want it far enough back that the block is out of reach, so to speak. And, of course, you can see the open court and swing away.
Karch Kiraly has won over $2 million in his illustrious career on the beach. And keep in mind, he missed nearly 7 years. He's got one now. It's 9-3, and Steffes hammers it.
The team in black is winning all the long rallies. They're touching more balls. They're siding out more proficiently, and every time they have to make a chase, they're just in a better position to finish the play out. jump serving with good velocity and location, and then finishing off plays. Clearly, Karch and Steffes doing a better job of blocking and playing defense right now.
10-3, Karch and Steffes, and Dodd and Whitmarsh making Karch Steffes wait. Taking their time, trying to drag it out. Remember, it's best 2 of 3 to 12. FIVB rules. Mike Dodd, right to Karch. Kent. Yes.
Steffes is touching everything right now. He looks like Mike Whitmarsh.
Would you say Karch and Steffes are digging it right now in the Olympics?
You could say that. I think they probably are, but again, only game 1, 11-3 lead. And like indoors, if you're way down in game 1, all Dodd and Whitmarsh are trying to do right now is get something positive going towards game 2 with some momentum.
That was game point number 1, and Mike Dodd, his 3rd kill. Dodd putting it away.
And if you wonder how Dodd and Whitmarsh do that, they side out. Remember back to the Olympic trials, it was 8-7, Dodd and Whitmarsh leading, and then they just continued to side out and side out and side out, and eventually they got lots of point scoring opportunities and went away and won 15-8 over Karch and Steffes.
For new volleyball fans, explain side out.
You run your offense. You receive, serve, you pass, you set, you put the ball to the sand successfully, either with a hard-driven ball or a shot. You side out, you gain possession of the ball, and you can only score when you serve.
Second game point, Karch Steffes. Whitmarsh, and that's the best hit of the day as Whitmarsh explodes one off the sand.
Feeling better, and obviously into this game. You can see him afterwards. 3-11.
Now Whitmarsh will station himself at the block, at the net. Dodd serving and working on Steffes a little now. So the idea of serving Karch early did not work. They've got a chance against Steffes. Dodd, and Dodd puts it down the middle for a point.
And where did the ball go? Deep middle. It's if you break on the deep middle, they say, look, if that's where it goes, you know, why not cover it? There's Patty Dodd and daughter Dallas. Beautiful little girl. Incredible emotion yesterday when the team from Portugal, Brainha and Maya, gave Dodd and Whitmarsh everything and more that they wanted in order to advance to the gold medal match. Whitmarsh with a big stuff block. Dodd and Whit are siding out right now. This is now, they're getting back into this match one play at a time. This is Olympic trials revisited right there. Whitmarsh just impossible to get over and past.
Karch and Steffes lead it 11-5.
The official sports drink of the Olympics is Powerade. This might seem like a little thing, but at the Olympics, little things can be the difference between winning and losing. Powerade.
11-5, Karch Steffes lead it. We can tell you in the bronze medal match, all you Canadian volleyball fans, you should be proud. John Child and Mark Heese win it over Portugal in 2 games, 12-5 and 12-8. They played very, very well.
Played wonderful volleyball and very courageous volleyball because they went into the losers bracket fairly early in this tournament. They had a long march back. They beat Sweden, Czechoslovakia, a very good Cuban team, and then a team from Spain, Basma and Jimenez, who created a lot of havoc knocking off the Brazilians to get into the semifinal, lost to Karch and Steffes, and then claimed the bronze today. And congratulations to Heese and Child winning the bronze for Canada.
Dodd and Whitmarsh have been behind the entire game, trying to catch up. They got off to a very bad start. Whitmarsh having trouble getting into it. They trailed 6-0 and 9-3. Now it's 11-5, and Karch and Steffes have their 3rd game point. Once again, games to 12, 2 out of 3. These two teams have never played each other in this format. Down the line, Steffes. This could be it. No, Dodd digs back. Steffes again. No, Dodd digs back. Steffes again. And Whitmarsh is into the net, and Karch and Steffes have won game 1.
Dodd and Whitmarsh, excuse me, giving it absolutely everything they have to offer. Karch and Steffes out early, out in the middle, and just took control. You could see, though, that Dodd and Whitmarsh getting back into the match at the end, making tremendous plays. Dodd playing defense, keeping this ball in. Whit at the net. We talked about efficiency of movement. Karch isn't 23 anymore, but he still knows how to fire up and celebrate. retreating blocker, keeping one hand up, the good pokey. But look at Mike Dodd, 39 years of age, reading, knows where Kent Steffes is going, is there once again. Look at that thing spinning up there, tough ball to control. And Whitmarsh with the hustle play, but raked the net on the way by.
Game 1, going to the Kings of the Beach, Karch and Kent Steffes. Adjustments that Dodd and
NBC.
Greg.
NBC's coverage of the Centennial Olympic Games is brought to you by Pontiac, proud sponsor of the 1996 U.S. Olympic team. We are driving excitement. By new reduced-fat Doritos tortilla chips, surprisingly good. By Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by IBM, creators of the official Atlanta Games website.